I've been definitely blessed with the opportunity to, link up with a lot of people.
The whole entire show. But, we thought that was good. And we want to thank everybody out there supporting the album. We invented the remix. Platinum debut #1. We got my man Loon coming up next.
How'd it feel, Loon? You went out there and did your thing. You was received very well. A lot of cats out there from the tri-state.
Yeah. It's my first summer jam, you know what I'm saying?
And like being right next to one of the greatest entertainers, my man P. Diddy and Busta Rhymes. And
well, Amir Junaid Muhaddith, better known by his stage name Loon, is one artist hoping to change the lyrics and message of rap following his own religious conversion. Loon was part of P. Diddy's Bad Boy Records. He accepted Islam in 2008 on a tour in Dubai.
Loon is working his way out of my system,
He's a Muslim now.
Just happy to be, accepting Islam and finding the peace of mind that I was always searching for in the music business.
Diddy is already neck deep in his RICO case, and now the feds are bringing in Loon to help finish the job. Yeah, that Loon, the guy who was once Diddy's right hand on the mic and did nearly a decade in prison, found Islam and kept his mouth shut about the mess he walked away from. But now, Loon's silence might be over. According to federal sources, Loon is allegedly cooperating, not just behind closed doors, but possibly getting ready to leak public-facing evidence about what really went down inside Bad Boy. Not just the parties and shady contracts, but the whole criminal enterprise. Loon was there in the early 2000s at Bad Boy's height, and he's one of the few people still alive and conscious who saw the inside of Diddy's operation without being directly accused of anything himself. And let's be honest, Loon has every reason to cooperate. Diddy left him hanging when he got locked up, offered no support, and distanced himself fast. So if Loon's coming forward now, it's not about clout, it's about payback. So what does Loon know? What new info could he reveal about how Bad Boy was really run? And how does this fit into the bigger federal case against Diddy? Let's get into it.
You being at the helm of that, we have to be examples. Dudes is out here pushing 50.
Catching one guy in the act is about proving a pattern and intent.
Top searches on Google. Why is Diddy being charged with RICO?
So the Racketeering Act, also known as RICO, came about in 1970 and was really established to fight organized crime, but it's been morphed into prosecuting people in gangs, in legitimate businesses, etc.
So how does this decades-old law apply to Combs's case? Prosecutors allege his business empire was also a...
Now you go after black people. Now we got a loophole. We can go after black people on some bullshit. That's all that means. They added on some other shit to get us.
Criminal enterprise, making him millions and enabling decades of criminal activity.
Basically, the government's got to prove that there was an enterprise. They then have to show that there was a pattern of activity.
That pattern must include at least 2 predicate acts, related crimes committed by Combs and others within 10 years to prove a racketeering conspiracy.
And that's where someone like Loon comes in. A guy who was in the room, who saw how the money moved, how the alleged victims were brought in, and how the silence was bought. And let's not forget that Loon ran for his life and found religion after escaping Bad Boy. So you know that whatever he witnessed there must have been way darker than usual shady record label business.
Basically, I was inspired by individuals in my community who indulged in a lot of these negative activities as far as selling drugs, robbing, stealing, even killing. And basically, this was my initial introduction to life as I knew it. Harlem is not a very big place.
So what happened to Loon at Bad Boy that made him find God and completely turn his back on the music industry? Loon, born Chauncey Hawkins, might be one of the most complicated figures to ever walk through the revolving door of Bad Boy Records. He was handpicked by Diddy to carry the label's torch into the 2000s, and he shot to fame with his laid-back delivery on hits like I Need a Girl, Part 1 and 2. And for a minute, he was the face of the Bad Boy brand's second win. But behind the flashy music videos and baller lifestyle, Loon's rise was short-lived. He quickly got swallowed by legal trouble, industry politics, and ultimately a prison sentence that would change his entire trajectory. Just a year after dropping his self-titled debut in 2003, Loon pulled a shocking move and ditched not just Bad Boy Records, but the entire music industry. But his attempt to disappear from the spotlight didn't last long. By 2011, Loon was back in headlines, this time in cuffs, facing serious federal conspiracy charges tied to an old DEA case alleging he moved illicit product across state lines. counts. He was hit with a 14-year sentence, but from the beginning, the case never sat right with a lot of people. The details were murky, the evidence was thin, and Loon himself always claimed he got caught up by association, not direct action. But Loon also later talked about how that prison sentence was a blessing in disguise because even before he got caught up in the case, just spending time around Diddy and being part of the music business made him want to seek light.
Felt like something was going to change in my life. I felt like something big was going to happen. But it's not the big we always expected. Like, yo, something big about to happen. It wasn't that kind of big. I just knew something was going to happen. Because I was being nurtured, cultivated, and educated before that took place.
Now fast forward to 2020 when Loon was released from prison and he shocked everyone again by reconnecting with Diddy. That move raised a lot of eyebrows considering their history. And many people pointed out how Diddy didn't even visit Loon all those years when he was locked up. But because of his religion, Loon genuinely believed Diddy had changed, or at least deserved the chance to. Loon was coming from a place of faith, forgiveness, but maybe also being a little too naive. So at first, Loon decided to brush off the past, and he was ready to forgive Diddy, let bygones be bygones, and keep things peaceful. But then the floodgates opened. Once all those disturbing allegations against Diddy started stacking up, Loon started rethinking everything. And now he knows that forgiveness means nothing to people like Diddy because they'll take your grace and use it against you. In a recent interview, Loon claimed that Diddy didn't just distance himself when he was in prison, he strategically threw him under the bus. And he's not just talking about industry politics or shady royalties, he's talking setups. Loon hinted that Diddy made sure others took the heat so he could stay clean, using people as scapegoats while building his empire on lies.
Then once again, being kind of like a scapegoat for Puff's, characteristics or shortcomings or whatever the case may be. It's like no man should be held accountable for another man's, dealings. But
when you say a scapegoat, what exactly are you saying?
I think there are a lot of times with how people perceive Puff can easily trickle down to his artists. You know what I'm saying? Unless you get to know them, then you might find some variation. But off the rip, it's like whatever is affiliated with Puff, it just becomes like this blanket thing.
Guilt by association.
Yeah, guilt by association.
Right.
It just becomes a blanket. It's like whatever he does right, you may reap the benefit from that. But definitely whatever he does wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Yes on you too.
Yeah, yes on you too. You get lined up.
So now that the federal prosecutors are in their final push to convict Diddy of RICO, Loon might be the key to the puzzle. According to sources close to the case, investigators are working behind the scenes with the former Bad Boy artist and looking for evidence that Diddy ran Bad Boy like a criminal enterprise. And this move makes total legal sense. RICO isn't a one-and-done crime. It's about proving a long-term track record of illicit activity and using employees as enforcers. That's why turning someone like Loon, who was inside the machine but never charged, into a cooperating witness fits the exact mold documented by federal guidelines.
It's believed. We know he was doing the work of the Al Capone of the lube world. He was buying the... He was cleaning up the room. It puts Diddy at the top and him as one of the co-conspirators in the RICO.
So now sources close to Loon are saying he won't be doing any podcast interview or airing Diddy's dirty laundry on social media, but he's allegedly quietly talking to the prosecutors, and he could have direct knowledge of how Diddy ran the whole operation. And legally, that puts Loon in the same class as other insiders who were granted immunity after cooperating, like hotel employees and staffers who confirmed the freak-offs, baby oil rituals, and intimidation schemes. But what's in it for Loon? Why would he agree to cooperate with the feds to help them convict Diddy and potentially sentence him to life in prison? Well, for Loon, this isn't just about settling old scores or getting revenge. Sources close to Loon say his real motivation runs deeper, and it's about doing what's morally right after years of silence. And this recent wave of disturbing allegations, especially those claiming Diddy was a devil worshiper performing occult rituals in the Bad Boy studio, shook Loon to his core.
Necrophilia and necromancy, right? These are the two popular speculations as to why, or possible reasons as to why Diddy's attorney, Anthony Rico, has set a motion or put in a motion to be withdrawn from the case, right? He states in his paperwork that under no circumstances can he continue to represent Diddy. Now, definition of necrophilia is the engagement of sexual intercourse with corpses. If that is what some of the new charges are against Diddy, just put him under the jail.
And for Loon, these stories about Diddy doing animal sacrifices and practicing black magic to stay out of trouble while he threw others under the bus hit a little too close to home.
Diddy's bodyguard named Gene Deal, who used to bodyguard for him back in the day, as you can see in this picture in the background, straight up said Diddy is a demon.
But dude is a demon, bro. Dude is a demon. I realized he was a demon at Shine trial. And I don't care what nobody say, man. And like, when people still talking,
Deal do not like Diddy at all. He do not like that man. Every time you look around, he's saying something about. But you know what? He do got a point though. Think about it. A lot of people end up losing their life around Diddy. I think the first was he had that trampling. Remember those people died at that event he threw. Then his bodyguard guy ended up getting whacked, taken out. Biggie followed next. Then his baby mama Kim Porter, you know. And you ever notice everybody who ends up leaving Diddy always goes to religion. Like look at Loon's a Muslim now. Craig Mack had joined a religious cult before he died. Who else? I think there's another. Mace became a whole damn preacher. It's like as soon as they leave Diddy, they feel like they gotta go. They gotta get this sin up off of them. They must be seeing some crazy shit. That'd be a dope ass movie though. If somebody did a movie about a successful record label, like maybe take place because record labels are starting to be the thing of the past. Like maybe have it take place like in the 90s. You have a record label, and you see this is a huge, well-known record label. Almost like Empire. Shit, they already did it, Empire. But Empire was cheesy though. That was a cheesy. I'm talking about real gritty, raw look at a urban hip hop R&B record label in the 90s, and kind of pattern it after Bad Boy, and have an artist join this particular record label, thinking that, oh yeah, I'm down with such and such, make it all fictitious, and then when they join, just all kind of evil shit happens. Like they realize like, oh shit, this dude's a devil. You know what I'm saying? That's some Jordan Peele shit, ain't it? And they start seeing what's going on at these parties, and they really get to see what goes on and the shadiness, what happens in the hip hop record label music industry in the late 90s at the height. You got to think at the height when DMX was on top, he was young. That was the height, like the early 2000s. Lil Wayne was blowing up all over the place. Hip hop, everybody was bumping hip hop. That was like the explosion of hip hop. It'd be dope if they did a movie like that. I think that'd be dope and just really showed like, not on no Empire shit, that cheesy shit, but like on some real street shit, like a record label and an artist getting signed by this record label. And then they realize like, oh shit, these motherfuckers is demons up in here. You know what I'm saying? And everybody probably already know, like make it all fictitious, change the names, but people probably be like, this motherfucker talking about Diddy in this movie. You know what I'm saying?
Keep on talking.
Get a thumbs up, but anybody want to make a movie, let's give y'all a movie idea. All I say, if y'all sell this movie, give me some money, give me a percentage, I'm gonna sue your ass.
If that priest ever come out and he talking, if people keep talking, you'll find out that a lot of that Gene Deal has said has been the truth and nothing but the truth. I was there. I was there when that priest or whoever he was rubbed that stuff on his head, put his hand on top of him, told him to grab the bird out the cage, the white dove, and he threw the dove in the air, and the dove acted like he ain't have no wings and hit the fucking ground. Boom! That motherfucker started walking my way. I'm looking like this, bro. I'm like, and he just walked past me.
He had buried deep the things he saw but never dared to expose. And insiders say Loon now feels a heavy responsibility to share the truth, almost as a form of spiritual cleansing. So what comes next? Well, Loon's potential cooperation could expose much more about Diddy's criminal enterprise than we heard from all those witnesses on the stand. Most people who testified so far weren't around Diddy in the 90s, when there was no social media and no cancel culture. Loon, however, has been there since day one, back when Diddy was at his most reckless. Now, whether Loon's revelations become the final nail in Loon finally speaking out. Do you think it's just about revenge, or is there a more spiritual reason Loon wants to share what he witnessed at Bad Boy? Drop your comments below, and I'll catch you in this next video.
All right, y'all. So that is shout out to Culture Covered. Culture Covered. That's the name of this YouTube channel. Y'all can go and support that channel and join them. It's $49 a month. Damn, $49 a month to join. What you get for $49 a month? Loyalty badges next. Okay, cool. So you can go and join them and subscribe. You can buy subscriptions now and get access to membership perks for $50 a month. So yeah, that's the channel. Yeah, so yeah. I don't even know what else to say. I just pitched my little movie idea. But yeah, Gene Deal ass. He do not like Diddy. He don't like Diddy at all. Like, he has a deep hatred for that man. Like he done came to court. He did the interview. He really want to see Diddy in prison. Like, he on Vlad, he on everybody podcast spreading he like, that man is a freaking travesty. He want Diddy under the jail. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, what y'all think about this video, man? Leave your comments, subscribe to Charles and His World. Hit that thumbs up button.